Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day because today we're going to be talking about episode 2 and watch 1.13. That's right, I'm talking about the new episode 2 that's coming out in Valorant. I'm going to be talking about why patch 1.13, 1.14 and 1.15 are so important for Valorant itself, and also what we're going to be seeing potentially in episode 2 and why it's so good. So if you're watching while episode 2 was already out, Act 1, 1, 2, or 3 for some reason, this video is still relevant. And by that, I mean you can watch it anytime. Anyway, let's get on with the agents. The agents are actually very good for the meta. Does anyone remember when Reyna was out? When Reyna was out, everyone was saying, oh, well, this agent is just too overpowered. But over time, it actually adapted to the meta. Same goes with Killjoy. Everyone thought the turret will be a game changer, but her low damage just assisted the meta. And that's what Valorant has a really great thing. They have a great character design overall. They know how to actually add a character in, such as they will add the new character with possible abilities that will not, completely change the meta in that way that, you simply cannot beat the agent, but it provides new challenges. So for example, Sova will have to use the new darts, and I won't even get started with the new skins because the skins they provide are simply amazing. Now with patch 1.13, I think it's pretty important to know that in 2021, Valorant will get bigger. That's right, Valorant has huge esports in front of them, and it's pretty much important to note that, such as other games, they want to be huge in esports. They're not quite there yet because they haven't went that huge just yet. However, I still think they have a lot of potential. Why is that? Well, what they want to do basically is make Valorant small at start. So, you probably saw 1 million concurrent players for Valorant watching to get the beta key, and then the hype died down and everyone thinks, well, Valorant has just died, right? Well, not exactly. Valorant hasn't really died in any shape or form. It's just stagnating. And why is it stagnating? Because it doesn't have a fully established esports yet, and that was exactly what Riot was planning. They're planning, to bring a lot of new features in 2021 instead of 2020. That's how I'm expecting it, just based on how they provide content. Now, 2020 was actually, the year to make Valorant completely playable, ready for esports, and adding more maps. They want to add at least 7 maps to make it best of 5, right? That's when you can see Valorant in esports. People have been saying this game has been dying and it will not do anything better in episode 2, but if we look at games like Rainbow Six Siege, well, they had a very, very slow start and then performed very, very good. Now with more agents, and they're going up to 60 agents or maybe even more, they're just starting with 60 agents and adding agent bans, which is like League of Legends. We have a very bright future. 60 agents means if there's 6 new agents every year, that means that's, I'm guessing, I hope my math is not off, but I'm guessing that's 10 years, right? Well, that's a lot. That's actually a lot, if you get me. And I'm seriously hoping that, the old agents are not going to be left behind, because Valorant patch 1.13 will also introduce some pretty new buffs and nerfs. So for example, we're gonna get a Jett nerf most likely, because Jett is just an S tier, top of the S tier, and without Jett, I haven't seen a team won so far. If the Jett is good, it can play for 1 or 2 players, like it can replace a player or even 2 players, which is a huge advantage for a team. So with that out of the mind, I think we should be seeing some more smokes, I'm guessing, in the potential future in episode 2. Yes, we have 2 smokes, and we have Viper smokes, which don't really count in the new patch. So we should be seeing, new skins along with, some Viper buffs or potentially some agents that provide new way of cover. So, keep in mind it doesn't actually have to provide you with actual brimstone smokes or omen smokes. It has to provide some way of protecting the site or taking control of the site. So for one example would be, throwing a grenade that would basically blind a player in some form. There's a lot of potentials how this can go, but I'm definitely sure because we're gonna see something for competitive meta in the following months. So I'm guessing, in June 2021, we're going to be seeing some pretty juicy content. Now, another reason why episode 2 is so important is, well, because the second strike will most likely happen, or some sort of a bigger tournament. We're already getting a lot of players, but I don't think the esports for Valorant is just established yet. Sure, we have a first strike, which is a great way to show off what Valorant esports can do, but it's not the near potential it could be. Yes, it has, a few smaller tournaments, but Valorant, what it basically wants to do is like CSGO, one huge tournament and a lot of small regulator tournaments. And I think it's a huge potential based on the players we're seeing, although the interest is not there for esports. That is something we might see happening. We might see, a lot more things like, Twitch streamers playing Valorant together, 5v5s. That's definitely possible because Valorant is completely a social game. Now, with that out of the mind, I'm seriously hoping, we'll get some balance changes. So, for example, how strong the Phantom and Vandal is. Well, I think that's pretty much balanced. I'm guessing, some other guns could see potential balance changes, such as they could start experimenting a bit with Frenzy or the Shorty, or how they work. Not that they're bad per se, they could just improve it a little. Now, this is a pretty important topic on why Valorant will actually get bigger and bigger, and it's not only esports, it's also console and mobile. And that is actually happening. Console and mobile, we have Wild Rift, we have League of Legends, they have consoles. Well, they don't have consoles yet, they have mobile, we don't know sure about consoles, but Valorant could potentially be, going to other platforms where it gets easy viewers. Of course, there won't be cross-platform between, PC and console most likely, because I don't think that would work. But hey, with no cross-platform, that makes, the console players have fun as well, for free. And the price of free, what can you beat with a price of free? Nothing. You can try it out. If you don't like it, you do nothing. You uninstall it. If you like it, you continue playing it and support Valorant. And that's exactly what they're doing. So Valorant has been just establishing themselves. I would say the esports right now that we have are not that huge yet. So most likely, the more agents, the better, especially the new maps. Maybe a bit more defensive map, a bit more offensive, because, well, we had very mixed response on the Icebox as well, so that wasn't great. But hopefully, we're gonna see more and more out of this. I definitely am confident that, Riot will propose to us a future Valorant deserves. Anyway, this is Fatman, talking about all the new patches, what we're potentially going to see, the new battle passes. I won't even get started with that because there's a lot of skins to get into. But be sure to check out my reviews, and that's Fatman, sign out. Peace, guys.